My name's Shelly Netzer-Edgerton, and this is just a little commentary video on the whole Illuminati situation. I've been watching a lot of the YouTube drama. I've watched a lot of videos. Shout out to CB3. Swoop did amazing documentaries. Mad Catster, of course, to all the people who have been doing videos and have had issues there in the middle of the whole situation. Click, who is a wonderful YouTuber. I have just started following him, well, just a little bit after the video Illuminati put out dropped. I started following Oz, Wonder, One Topic, and The Click. So I followed them as soon as her video dropped. The Illuminati Exposed video, which up until then, I followed her. And I followed Legal Eagle before that. And when I saw her video, I was like, I was able to do that when I was a kid on a Word document. A basic Windows, a Word document was able to do. I've seen that paper tear effect on Word documents for a header. And then the highlighting effect. Just do a Word document and put screen record as you move the cursor over the paper and highlight. So since it's a simple, like, screen record effect, that was like, you don't even need, like, real, it's, like, free. You don't need, like, real software. That's not even special software. And if you can buy the software to do the effect, then yeah. It's like when I was a kid, my dad always said, oh, I haven't liked using computers since I stopped programming. By programming, he meant using somebody else's program and putting the numbers in the right places. No, you used somebody else's program. He didn't even use HTML. This was when I was learning HTML on my own, by the way. I still am not that good at it and all, and it's now antiquated, but I was doing on GeoCities, I was making all kinds of websites. So that was something I did as a little fun thing after school. I would go to the library, use the library computers, and I could use it for that. I mean, you could do a web page online, and I could do as much as Blair from Windows GeoCities, which was free websites. So I could do a free website and do what Blair did and put pictures into it and more. Back in 2000. So I'm like, that's been done so long and makes me feel old that it's like, yeah, that's an old technique, kid. you really must not be able to do anything. But, oh, and if you like this video, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. And I also have a Patreon, and I have all kinds of stuff. I have a whole link tree I'll put down in my description. Thank you. Back to the show. But more about Blair. Blair was talking, and that was like red flag. Watching Illuminati Exposed video when it came out, it kind of, and then how she talked about Wonder, which a lot of people didn't like. That's what got me into the whole drama tube, the whole drama YouTube thing. And I started following Swoop and all of the people and I started following the Reddit stuff that Click does. I don't edit my videos, sorry. Sorry, I'm a bit rambling, and it's not, I don't, like I said, I've done websites when I was a kid. I'm doing this, I'm very amateur. But I followed Blair, and when I saw her video, I was like, this is kind of weird, and I'm not so sure. I'm going to go look at all these people who she's saying something about. So I'm like, I saw the Clicks video. His stuff is so sweet. Oh, I love the Click. Click Boy is so sweet. And one topic, I'm like, he thinks words are cuss words that aren't even cuss words. He goes so out of his way. And I saw the one topic saying, pointing out how it was his second language. When you don't know what words are because they're not part of your language, that you grew up, you might say things, and if I was from England, I'd say, I don't smoke, so it wouldn't be a problem, but a cigarette, they call it a fag. It's a cigarette. But that word is not okay in the context of America. If you say something about that in America, in the American context, that word is not appropriate. But, I'd probably be saying it's disgusting because I don't like cigarettes. Ugh. I grew up with my father and brother, and my grandparents. It was the most disgusting thing. But I would say it's disgusting, but some people, cigarettes are something that people do. It's their prerogative, as long as they're not inside and around me. As long as you do it outside and put the butt away somewhere and it's not just all over the place, it's your prerogative. It's fine. Smoke. It's your health, not mine. As long as you're not endangering my health, it's okay. I would wish you to do better for yourself, but yeah. So, he didn't know what he was saying. And he said a word. When he was like 13, 14, something like that. He wasn't even 16. He said something that he didn't know what the word was and then later found out. And once he found out, he stopped using the word. So, like, he used some stuff that he didn't know what he was talking about. He used English was a second language. He didn't speak it. He was Swedish. And he's extremely aware of it at this point. And she used the same type of stuff. So that just, she doesn't have that kind of excuse. She grew up here. She knew all those same words were wrong when they were actually part of her vocabulary. And she says, I wouldn't use that ever, when there's actually on the record that she used the same, at least the R one. But the R word she used, knowing the connotations of it. Technically, I found recently I'm allowed to use it because of things that I have. I mean, I would never think of it. I only have ADHD. My husband and daughter are both autistic, but we don't use that. I might say the female dog B word. That one I don't really consider much. Crap, I don't consider a cuss word, but I'm not really much, I don't use very many cuss words. Okay, so back to the Illuminati thing. I mostly want people who have followed her, who left because of her Illuminati exposed video, because of the stuff she put in that, because how sus she made herself sus. Like, comment, and subscribe, whatever, but comment and tell me that if you were one of the people who left Illuminati because of Illuminati. I want people who left Illuminati. I'm going to do multiple of these videos and repost this because I want this to get out. Please help me spread this. I want to find people who find out how many people left because of Illuminati. Because Illuminati, with her sue happy stuff, she's reminding me of Trump. How that's where they get all their money from. They sue people who can't afford anything, and they are put all the stuff their money, that their bills, onto other people. Like, she's trying to put everything she spent onto Oz Media. She's very corrupt. So, and she's supposed to be a liberal. No. So, but I want to know who followed and who also went to follow the clique and all them when that happened. Who follows the clique now and all that because of what Illuminati did? because Illuminati did that video. And I wouldn't have heard anything because I'm not on that part of Twitter. I didn't even know about it. She did her apology video, but when she brought everybody else into it, she should have just done a quick, "I'm so sorry," and the whole video should have been apologizing for Legal Eagles, explaining how she doesn't do her own editing, she didn't know about editing, and she really is totally computer illiterate, and how she's all she does is voiceovers, admitting to the fact that all she is a content farm where she just reads a script. Although it seems from what I've heard from some of the other ones, like the one video might not even be a script. It would be a transcript from somebody else's video. Because some of them seem to be not. And I think that all of the other people who were part of this, I now follow Cruel World, Happy Mind. I follow Savvy Writes Books. I follow a lot of people who are in the commentary and social justice and stuff. I was very limited to like more educational stuff and politics, and then a bunch of lawyers. And like, I don't think I even followed Jazza before I started looking at other parts of YouTube because of her video. I might have started on some of the artists like Jazza about that time. Oh, I did follow the one YouTuber who I did follow, like John Solo, who does Messed Up Origins, and the guy that does the videos on pitch meetings, because they were just fun stuff. I followed some mythology stuff, religious stuff. Not religious, but like documentaries on explaining things in the Bible and stuff, and Sumer, and really they're atheists, anti-Christians, and I'm actually a Christian, so, but I follow a lot of them because you can get some of the details, and then the stuff that actually supports it, that they're missing, and you get both sides, and you can really see the full story. It's really good to find both sides of the story. And I had been following Illuminati's side for a long time, and then I didn't know the other side of the story. Hence why, looking at both sides of the story, looking at the people who had troubles, I've also been watching Growing Up in Scientology and all the anti-Scientology stuff. But it's always good to see both sides, because then it tells you you might be able to find out which sides. And that's one of the things I like about Aaron Smith-Levin, who does Growing Up in Scientology. His videos are very, like, they are not that bad on Scientologists. The only thing he's like really negative about is like, he's more like Scientology says this, but they're doing this. He like is really like, this is what the book says. He's by the book. But he's and tells you what L. Ron Hubbard says, what the policies are. And this is what they're doing, and this is against their own policies. And he points out the good things that he says you can find in many different religions and even secular, non-religious areas. You can find these self-help things in other ways than going into Scientology. So he's very much the but he kind of says it from a perspective where it's actually like both sides. And it might be a good way to look at it. So I can kind of see some of the Scientology policies and some things from the Scientologist perspective to get that little bit. And you kind of hear a little bit from others, but of what it was like when they were. But especially with Reese, Relatable Reese, whose recent exit from Scientology because of Erin, ironically. But they're really, she was happy to be out. Yeah, but Erin is a good way to get both sides of the perspective. And the whole thing. So, but the whole thing was, but back away from Scientology, away from politics, back to the story, back to Illuminati. This thing is supposed to be about Illuminati. I started following Oz and all them because of Illuminati. And her victims. This is mostly a video just to ask to comment in it, because I want to know how many people are like me following the people. Comment who you followed because you, and whether you unfollowed Illuminati because of her video, and who you started following because of her. If you started following new people, I have a whole list. Illuminati got me to follow from this rabbit hole. I've started following, like I said, the main ones are Oz, Wonder, Click, One Topic, and of course, Cruel World, Happy Mind. I also started following, because of their coverage of her, Swoop. And then Swoop got me into the Colleen Ballinger thing, which got me into watching Adam, who he has done a video on Illuminati. Not too many. I think he did just one. He watched a video and comments on it. And then I followed CB3, who did a bunch of videos. Tipster, who was one of the victims of her whole thing. And then there's Mad Catster and Omega Gun. But this is mostly going to be a shout out to some of my favorite videos, favorite YouTubers. I watch Myth Vision podcast.
Do you think some cities get so full of trash that they just pave over it?
The one guy who does the pitch meetings videos. I watch a lot of crafter YouTubes. And now I'm watching a lot more crafting YouTube. One of my favorites is Skill Tree. I also follow the one, she does a lot of it. I haven't seen her videos coming up on my feed in a while, but I did follow before all this stuff. I also started following a while back. Some of my other favorites were like Rachel Massey, who I love, and Abby Cox, and I started following recently, which had nothing to do with all this. She's another one who's part of the whole, like Abby Cox and and Rachel Massey and all the, like, people who do those clothes, who are like the vintage and like 1800s and 1700s Victorian clothes. She does the shoes. Nicole Rudolph. I follow some of my favorite. Erin Parsons makeup. She's really good. Then there's all kinds of history YouTubers I watch. I've started watching Mr. Mythos. He's a new one. I've also watched history. It's the British one. It's a British history thing. What's it called? Where the videos, there's like a bunch of these different series where they actually live in the era. There's Peter Ginn and Ruth. Absolute History is the name of the channel. I'm like, I know the videos. There's like, and the people who are in them, but I can't remember the actual name of the channel. I'm like, it's Absolute History. I've been following them for a while, so I definitely recommend them. My recommends for all these like, I've started watching a channel that does drinks. Once in a while, he does non-alcoholic ones. But, you can kind of think of, you can buy some things that you can kind of adjust it and stuff on Amazon for non-alcoholic substitutions for the alcohols. You can get little bottles that you add to, I guess, if you want to make it, but there's little bottles of absinthe that you're supposed to, I think, add to alcohol, but you could, like, use water or a simple syrup-ish thing, and you can use the absinthe for make a non-alcoholic absinthe so that you can make drinks and stuff that have, like, the flavorish stuff. You can also buy extracts that are made to taste like rum or something. Vodka, just use water. Use like a distilled water, or not distilled, but a bottled water or filtered of some sort. It's mostly just alcohol. Maybe you could add like something to it to sweeten it slightly. Maybe a very mild water and simple. But you can like use his and adjust them, but sometimes you don't even have to adjust them. He makes versions that are non-alcoholic totally in a few videos, not very many. It's a show called How to Drink. And then I'll admit some of them are alcoholic, like eggnog and stuff. And hypocrites, especially the wine things, tasting history, he does drinks and food, but most of his food is really good, and he doesn't do too many alcoholic drinks, but tasting history is another great one. I did a lot of food before I, even before I started watching Illuminati, but I watch all kinds of videos. Like I said, I watch Meidas Touch, which is totally crazy. I watch Jazza, he's one of the big ones who he does all the artwork and stuff. He's a mainstream YouTuber. Alexandria Ryan. I love Robert Reich. He was the former Secretary of Labor. Sensitive Society I've started watching recently. I think that's one I've watched since I got into everything because of the Illuminati. Stephanie Canada, she's a good video. Like Bernadette Banner, she's also one who's with the whole group. And then there's of course, I shouldn't forget Safiya Nygaard, who does these fantastic videos. Hopefully I'll remember to... Oh, and Friendly Atheist does a pretty good job. And, I've started watching some of the, like, Jewish YouTubers, and my favorite one of the Jewish, she does it on
TV show.
how she's, she goes on everyday life from it up. She's so sweet. She's a Orthodox Sephardic Jew, and it is just fascinating. She's so sweet, so kind. She's a wife, a mother. She's a doctor, and she does a really sweet, really good job. So I recommend watching a lot of these YouTubers. Please, 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 please. Like, I'm gonna try to, like, oh, and, also, I should also mention, shout out Evan and Kaitlyn. I've been following them for a while. Like I said, growing up in Scientology. Oh, the woman who I've followed a couple doctors on YouTube, like, the Mama Dr. Jones. I'm going to have to find some of these and make and write down a list and put it in the comments when I post this video, because I have so many people who I love on YouTube. I'm going to post a list down in the comments section. I also have a Patreon. If you want to follow me on Patreon, I would be very much, it starts at $1. So $1 a month. I just want to get somebody just so I can talk to them. I want to talk to people. I want to have friends where I can talk to you, hang out, and do the stuff. Just join me on Patreon. We'll have some fun. Hang out there, have a ball, talk about all my favorite YouTubers, talk about gossip, talk about social justice, witchy stuff. I do it all. I actually kind of find this might overlap with my social justice, because I feel so bad about the people that Illuminati has harmed, that she's like part of the oppressors. She's one of the oppressors doing that. I mean, she's oppressing these poor guys, Wonderstruck, Oz. It's totally a social, the elite trying to oppress the people who are normal people, who don't have the money to defend themselves, don't know what they're doing. They're younger than her. I mean, they're early 20s. They're not very old. There's definitely a power dynamic that is way wrong. So I do want to put that point out there, that she's manipulating, lying, and doing some negative. Plus, Oz's name was on, he had to put it on the car because of credit. I'm wondering if and was he in the agreement? Did he have anything to do with the agreement? Because I don't know if he could have been left out, considering he had to go in with the financing. If he didn't sign it, I don't know if the contract was even legal. So in that case, it might have been like some other laws she broke. Considering, you know, Oz should have been a much bigger part in taking back the car and, you know, I mean, it just, this whole thing with Illuminati sounds very wrong, but it's $1. You can talk to me on my Patreon. I also have my Cash App and everything in my comments. In the comments, I'll put, or in the description, I'll put a link to all that. It's on my link tree. And then I'll put a list of my favorite, all my stuff I'll put on my all my other socials and stuff. And then I'll also do a list. I might be able to get, if I forgot anybody that I said, or if I forget anyone I didn't say, I'll put them in, add them to the comments. I'm going to try and get everybody, all my favorite YouTubers into this video. If you listen to the end, thank you so much. Say you did. Comment in the comments that you stayed till the end and that you are a #1 fan and that you are into social justice, you are into equality, and support all the people in the LGBTQ. I'm not. I'm just an ally and a mother. So, I'm a friend, an ally, and a mother, because I support people I care about. And I care about people in the LGBTQ, so I support the LGBTQ. I support people I know and interact with. I don't see why people are the way they are. So, my channel is about supporting those with they're less fortunate, whether it be people with less money, supporting people who are LGBTQ, people of color, oppressed because of economic reasons. I didn't come from a rich family. I have nice things because I inherited some from my husband's grandmother. So we were able to get a nice, some nice furniture from her when she passed. So I have things that are well above my means personally, but because I have relatives that have given me stuff, I can live much better than I would be able to otherwise. I don't really make much money. And I'm not making anything off of YouTube yet, and I haven't had a Patreon for very long and don't have many patrons. But I am so looking forward to growing my YouTube. I don't post often, so I don't have much on my channel. Most of the stuff that's saved is stuff that I watch. Thank you. Bye. Peace.